What's happening, everybody? We're back with another episode of Too Much Fantasy Football. It's Monday, June 29th. We're almost into July, and we're here to bring you the news and the notes. Brendan, how you doing today?
I'm doing better than a certain cornerback that plays in the NFL right now. That's where I'm
Yeah, you know what? As life takes away for some, it gives to others. It gives to offensive production, hopefully, as far as fantasy goes. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, man. It's crazy. It's all off the wall. It's wild stuff. We've got good, we've got bad, and we've got stuff in between. So let's dive right in, figure out what's happening. And do you remember about 10 days ago when majority of dynasty leagues were just freaking? They were lost. They were confused. They were going through new things. And now it really all doesn't matter. Brendan Sorsby. Yes, that guy that we're trying to figure out how to handle in Dynasty. He's not playing until next year. NFL said, yeah, we can't conduct just anything in this timeline. So no supplemental draft this year. So it looks like Sorsby cannot go back to college, cannot play in the NFL, and he's just going to have to sit out. So as most Dynasty managers might have said, this is where we're going from here. How you handling this situation?
I'm curious. I think the NFL did this on purpose. I think they had to realize they were the big brother here in this situation because he kind of cheated the system out a little bit. Like, had Texas Tech judges and it was like, oh, there's nothing wrong here. He's fine, and they were going to play. And then other teams reacted and were like, hey, we shouldn't do this. So I think the NFL set him as the example of you're not going to bypass the system.
That's really how it feels. It feels like they not necessarily blackballed him because it's not like he can't come into the NFL, but just, hey, you're not playing by the rules. This isn't what we want. We've had issues with gambling in the past, and we're just not going to deal with this BS. We're going to move forward. And honestly, I think this is best. This is the approach I want to have in every one of my dynasty leagues. I'm like, can we just put him in the 2027 draft? Can we not mess with this? I don't think anybody was fully prepared, whether or not you dumped your fab, whether or not you were prepared. Just like there were so many questions. And do we really want him going to the Jets and just fucking up this whole Geno Smith situation? No, we want Geno to start most of the year, okay? We don't want to find the new quarterback in New York this season.
I think I had one of my leagues decided it was going to be fab. It was just whatever, it's fab, deal with it. I set my bid. I was my predetermined. I was I'm going to set $51. I was that was my bid. I was I'll do 51 and nothing more. And I asked, the other people were going to do 90, so I was going to lose out.
Yeah. Just didn't work out. Yeah. Honestly, half my leagues, we're let's wait till he gets drafted and we'll kind of decide it, which that obviously was the best because the amount of effort was wasted. It was about 3 messages in a chat, so it wasn't a big deal. Dude, I had one league. Literally started the rookie draft over so that he could randomize the order, figured out the top 6, and was trying to give it all right, hey, you have to give up a second next year if you want him, the first person. It was just the dumbest thing. In the amount of times they almost got me baited into arguing in the chat. I'm I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait. And sure enough, look where we're at. Because it's a poor overall system. Going into next year, we have anywhere from 3 to 6 potential first round quarterbacks. So, he could be a first rounder next year. He could be a third rounder in the rookie draft.
Hot take, I guess. I think the quarterback class is not going to be that great as what everyone's expecting.
Damn it! It's July. If we aren't going to be positive, this is the best time that we can be positive. We haven't seen them play. We haven't had them hurt us. This isn't right before the draft. Damn it, man. If we can be this is the time to be positive.
Yeah, I don't know. It's Arch Manning is the clear everyone's favorite, but I like watching him play. It's fun just because obviously I'm a big Manning fan, but he doesn't look like the 101 pick.
He doesn't look like Peyton's son. Did your dad even play pro football? Come on, Coop. Let's be honest here. Did your dad win a Super Bowl? No. Peyton's son? His dad won a Super Bowl or 2. I just can't wait for that. We're already seeing, what is he? I think he's 8th or 9th grade right now, Peyton's son, and everybody's already getting hot and bothered over it. The Devi guys are drooling, frothing at the mouth for it. All right, let's move on. Honestly, I don't even want to give us a full 3 minutes for this clock. Sauce Gardner, let's talk about him a little bit. I know, defensive player. We don't do IDP here. Not yet. I got invited to be in an IDP league, so maybe we might dabble into like 10 minutes into one episode at some point this August. But Sauce Gardner, as Colts fans, we got a lot of flack last year. Oh my God, you just traded 2 first-round picks for not only a corner, but a corner that's like, barely, like getting to the end of his prime, possibly. No. This guy's only 24, not 25, as previously reported. Thoughts here? Anything, really?
I thought they created document when you're born to like kind of helps prove your date of birth, but hey, what do I know?
Yeah, it's kind of the weirdest, bizarre thing. I keep thinking it's like a joke or like, am I missing something? But yeah, evidently reported as 25. He's actually 24. He'll turn 25, I think, on September 1st, August 31st, something like that. But either way, I love it as a Colts fan. Like, you're going into your year 25 season this year. I'm cool with that.
25 last year. Yeah, cool. I gained a year out of you.
So that means in your year 26 year, we get our first round pick back, which means we theoretically could still have 2, maybe 3 prime years of this guy. I'm Colts fan here, so biased, of course, but I think he still has it. Like, I don't think there's anything lost.
It's people are doing like their top 5 CBs, and I've yet to see his name being listed. I'm just like, damn, all right. Like, people forgot. Like, I acknowledge I don't know. I think he's like 5 at worst. Like, he's very good.
For sure. I don't have to sit there and like, I don't need to see him number 1 overall, but really? Not top 5? Yeah. The dude's 24. This is usually as they're like blossoming and peaking, but whatever. We move on. We move to offense. And let's go off. No, just kidding, folks. We're not going to offense. We're talking about Jeffrey Simmons here. I don't know. It's June, folks. That's what we talk about. But he's also the highest paid D tackle in the league. 3 years, $105.8 million extension. Tennessee Titans, they've cut a couple players. They've cleaned house a bit on some of their more expensive ones. Because I guess we didn't talk about, what's his name, heading back to the Chiefs, their cornerback. Name is escaping me right now. But
McDuffie?
Yeah. No. The guy that
L'Jarius Sneed.
There you go, Sneed. Sneed got cut, picked up back by the Chiefs after they let one of their guys go in free agency and trade away McDuffie. But yeah, Jeffrey Simmons here for the Tennessee Titans, highest paid DT, 3 years, $105 million. Thoughts? Give me that.
I think it's kind of a steal for an elite defensive tackle at this point. Like, we're starting to get the bag. Like, funny enough, when they did this deal, like they tagged the agents to like basically just call all the other defensive tackles like, hey, if you want a bag, like come to us.
That's awesome. Like, hey, we got it figured out. We know how to take care of the big guys in the middle. That's smart. Like, Titans need to hold on to whatever worthwhile players they have. They don't have a lot of, let's say, cornerstone pieces, and I think this is like a big face of their team. So Jeffrey Simmons, locking him up, especially when they're playing, Jonathan Taylor twice a year. You're playing the Jags offense twice a year. Texans are in there, whatever.
Yeah.
We don't know much about this offense. But either way, happy for the Titans. Happy when players get paid. Always happy when players get paid, except when they're named Tom Brady. Anything else here?
I got nothing else.
Yeah, it's defense, folks. We got nothing else. Let's move to the drama. Yeah. Is that Bravo we're watching? No. That's Brandon Ayuk's IG. He's had several videos dropping, a lot of pro commander takes. I think this is what I guess you and I need to see as heavy Brandon Ayuk bag holders here in best ball.
Hold on. Let's just get, he is claimed to have signed with the Commanders on his IG post. I've also claimed I've made out with Jessica Alba one time.
I claimed twice, but yeah, I feel what you mean.
Exactly. Like, it's just very weird that like he is basically saying I'm signed, but nothing has happened. Because like obviously I don't know if the 49ers know or the Commanders know he signed with them, but he signed with them. Like, I think I don't know if there's a rule, like if it breaks a rule, like he's already like committed to the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? Like, how there's he's under contract with the 49ers. The tampering, exactly. I don't know if it falls under some tampering rule. That's why they're both just like, please just shut up. Like,
right. Commanders like, we can't get in trouble if we don't admit to anything or even
we're just like, hey, he's just like wearing a Commander's hat. We got nothing to go with this.
But my thing at this point is like, say he has had very little involvement with the Commanders. Like, do they even want him? No, like in a vacuum, yes. They need another wide receiver in that room. We cannot hope that third round pick Antonio Williams really is going to be as great as we're drafting him to be. I would love a Stephon Diggs or Brandon Ayuk there, but yeah, I know Jaden wants him there, I'm sure. I know Brandon wants to go there, but like, do the Commanders want him there? Like, Stephon Diggs is drama, but he is significantly less drama than Brandon Ayuk at this point.
I think if he goes there, people forget like he had like an amazing season just 2 seasons before that was like 1,400 yards, then tore his ACLs and he sat out. So like the talent is still very much there, and so I gamble on the talent side. Like when Antonio Brown was going nuts with Tampa Bay, I owned him in a lot of leagues because guess what? He's still very, very good at football.
Yeah, one of the best there with AB. That situation was great. Brandon Ayuk was ascending to that point, cut short in that 2024 season, of course, the ACL tear. We didn't get anything from him in 2025. I'm hopeful. I don't think, and that's the great thing about the prices. He doesn't have to do a whole hell of a lot for him to return. I think him being a top 40 wide receiver, especially if he plays 15 games at least, there's no way he can't be a top 40. And then if you're telling me he still has 80% of what he was, top 30's right there. You know, just grab it. Grab it, folks. Yeah, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Ayuk. Who would you rather see go to the Commanders right now?
Ayuk.
I think I'm team Stephon Diggs. I think Stephon Diggs is safer. Stephon Diggs bust out 1,000 yards
great
last
humans.
year.
Two great humans.
yeah. That's not what I'm not. We're not guessing who do we want to babysit your son. We're playing who do you want on our fantasy teams. You know. Let's go to the next one here. Let's talk Kyle Pitts. Let's talk Kyle Pitts money. Let's talk Kyle Pitts extension. Let's go, baby. That's what we're talking about. 3 years, $54 million. I can't be more excited for my guy. I might be back in this year. It's going to be hard to stay out of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically it, though. I do not want to draft him. I'd rather not be caught holding the bag. He's like tight end 8, which is great. I just leave it at. He's in that no man's land for tight end.
He's not the worst pick as far as where he's going, who he's around. But damn it, if he doesn't go against everything we've talked about for the last 3 years on this show, I want the top tight end, or I don't want one at all. And he is drafted in the range of like, Brian, don't do it. You are going to be disappointed. Or honestly, what happens with this? It's not that you're disappointed. It's that you draft him and then you have to start him. You cannot draft Kyle Pitts where he's going. You cannot draft Tyler Warren where he's going and also pick up a Isaiah Likely later and switch between the two. No, you invested in the tight end that early. You have to play him week in and week out. And then when you get to the point of the fact that you are wavering, well, I like this guy on waivers better this week. It was a busted pick. You shouldn't have taken him. I get that he could outscore that waiver wire guy, but what he costs of the roster, there's just so much there. I love Kyle Pitts. I really want to. I got him in best ball. I'm going to own him quite a bit in best ball, but redraft, I'm going to be a little bit more hesitant there.
I'm hesitant on both fronts. Yeah, I'm hesitant on both fronts. I have him a little bit in best ball, but redraft I'll probably have. I will be very shocked in I don't know, like the 5-10 leagues I do, I'll have Kyle Pitts tight end.
Kyle Pitts or Bijan Robinson as far as second target in that offense?
Bijan.
And then you got Kyle Pitts would be number 3 as far as your projections? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I hate it, but that's so much of the argument right there is like, oh, he's number 2 in targets. Maybe he won't be. Maybe this isn't worth owning the third target there. Do we need to give him 3 minutes? We'll see. Let's talk another tight end here. Let's talk Brenton Strange getting paid. That's right, 3 years worth up to $48 million. We just talked about Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts, one of the greatest prospects we've ever seen come out as tight end. We just talked about him getting $6 million more. Now, granted, Strange is up to $48 million. It's not quite laid out the way that Kyle Pitts is, but damn, Brendan Strange, buddy. I didn't see this coming.
Again, it's one of those tight ends where it's like he does more of helping the team being on the field than just him, like, the individual person of like, oh, I'm going to catch the football and, get all these touchdowns and everything else. Like he does everything right as like the tight end position. And, those guys get love.
He's a Dawson Knox. Does he actually come through as a fantasy getter? Maybe not, but does he put up points and as a DFS option? Yeah, maybe that's where it's at. Because damn, they got 4 wide receivers. They don't need him. I loved Strange going into last year. This close to being a my guy. He was just outside of drafting range, so I was like, Brian, let's pivot. Thank God I did.
Yeah, the only way he gets fantasy relevance is if like Parker Washington and Brian Thomas Jr. go down, or like Jacoby Myers, like 2 of the 3 guys have to go down.
Or this is a lot heavier 12 personnel than we expected. They drafted a tight end in the second round that they shouldn't have. They took somebody who is a blocking tight end.
Brian. We are wrong. Remember that the GM said that we are wrong.
Yeah, that's right. This fella, this young kid. I want to call him a kid. He looks like he's 24, maybe. I want to see. Take your shirt off there, Jags GM. You got any sprouts on that chest yet? I don't think so, buddy. But yeah, that would be the one that could really hurt. Parker Washington's got a lot of steam right now. But if they go to just 2 wide receivers on the field majority of the time, that's going to be interesting to see how Jacoby, Brian Thomas Jr., and Parker Washington look when we've got Brendan Strange out there 24/7 with Borkature, something like that.
Now, the coin flip is for best ball. You can get Trevor Lawrence in the 10th round and Strange in like the 16th. Great little stack. So I do have a decent amount of that.
100%. If I'm going Trevor Lawrence stack, those wide receivers, it's kind of hit or miss whether they line up with what you can pick up. Strange is an easy cleanup pick. So I don't think he'll be drafted in majority of redraft leagues, but I think we're going to be talking about him from weeks 2
waiver
to
wire
16.
Hotness all year long.
100%. Yeah, it's gonna be waiver wire chatter for him for most of the year, but that's fine. You know what? We're gonna. I guarantee freaking to you, we cash some bets this year on our Friday episode when we talk about props. We're gonna be hitting some Brendan Strange from time to time.
You will be hitting Brendan Strange. I do not do that.
That's true. Yeah, he's more of the game picks. I do the stupid props that more of them work out than they should. Speaking of things that work out that shouldn't. Nope, there's no transition. Yeah, Terrion Arnold, man. Okay, let's try and spin this. Let's talk about the fantasy aspect of this situation here. If you haven't heard, folks, go look it up. We don't have all full details, but he's got in trouble, quite a few felonies. He's kidnapping is one of the words that's being talked about.
Life in prison is another word that's being thrown out there.
So,
in Florida.
Yeah, they don't mess around in Florida.
Yeah, they don't. That's not a state I'd like to commit a crime in.
They've got moats with gators. I'm not messing with that. Yeah, I'm not projecting him to be a part of the team this year. And if we want the fun fantasy spin, look, I've been hot and heavy on Detroit this year. I'm already putting bets on them having the best record in the NFL this year. Now, granted, I put in those bets before this news came out. But as far as fantasy, man, the schedule is so easy, so cushy. And if it gets hard, if it becomes a challenge, and all of a sudden their secondary is just ass and points just get thrown up on them, Jared Goff in the top 8 is going to be a hard lock because they're going to have to put up points to compete. And
they are the NFC Bengals.
Bengals, baby.
Yeah, it is. Situation at hand is this happened already before. It's just like we've known that Terrion Arnold did something like this. It was because people stole jewelry from him worth like $20,000, and he supposedly robbed the people that stole it. Well, he actually robbed the wrong people. He robbed just innocent. No, I don't know about
been there.
Whatever. Yeah, so he robbed the wrong people. And now he's looking at a long time in prison.
Yeah. It's not great.
No.
But like I said, this could be good for fantasy, I guess, if that's where we're looking at trying to find the positivity, the silver lining in a moment like this, because I don't think the Cowboys are going to be the Cowboys of last year. You know, the NFC Bengals. I think the defense stepped it up enough where I think we're going to be closer to like 10 to 20, somewhere in that middle of the pack range for defenses this year.
Yeah,
And
they could
if
be
Detroit
subpar, and they'll be fine.
and Detroit, they've been getting hammered with injuries. I think we talk about them a lot more with injuries if it weren't for the 49ers being in this league, because they steal it when it comes to having the most injured players. But yeah, the Lions over the last 2-3 years, they've seen some pretty big injuries hit them. So I think we could have some room for fireworks, baby. Fireworks when it comes to those points.
Yeah, their secondary sits no Brian Branch. I don't know if he's all pro. Very good safety though. He won't be back till like they're hoping Thanksgiving. So that's 8 weeks plus.
Somewhere in there, yeah.
Yeah, like almost looking at 12. You're looking at Kirby or Joseph. I forgot his other DBs. He's out, I think. So now they're rocking Rock Sin, who is almost at 10 years in the league as your starting DB1. Not good.
Yeah, rock your ass. That's what he's doing. It's not great. Traded the Raiders, moved over. It's not a great thing. Second round pick by the Colts. Way to go, Ballard. Dumbass. Let's go to the next one. I'm going to put 3 minutes on the clock here, but we got a lot of little nuggets from coaches here, and this is one that popped up here. Jeremy Bernard, big slot, man. How many players has Matt Harmon talked about? Oh, this guy's good, but he's only going to be NFL viable if he goes in the big slot. Looks like we might be getting one of those fellas here. How are you feeling about this situation between Pittman, DK, and rookie Jeremy Bernard?
Two things. You just gave Pittman $20 million a year. So what's Pittman doing then? Like, why? I mean, if you just now valued Jeremy ahead of Pittman, you just wanted to have that extra money, fine. Secondly, when was the last time Aaron Rodgers made a rookie wide receiver relevant?
Bam! And we're not just talking about here in his old age since he's left Green Bay. No. This fool does not like the young guns. He's not a rookie guy.
Nope.
Just like the Rams. It's not like they're not a rookie team. They like their guys to sit and just blossom a little bit, grow. I don't know. I'm not really buying into this whole lot. I'm not really buying into this offense too much until I just recently saw somebody post. I think it was Ian Hartitz, but I can't find the tweet because I think he deleted it, you little SOB. But I can't find it. But it's just going back, looking at Mike McCarthy's offenses over his last 6 to 8 teams. Mm-hmm. Top 12, I believe just about every single one of them was a top 12 plays per game offense. That excites me. That potentially excites me. Out of the slow, dragon-ass, Ben Gay, stuck-to-your-feet kind of offense that the Steelers have been running and Aaron Rodgers has been running with the Jets, like, this is the kind of thing I could get excited about. And this is the kind of thing that could make me want to draft Pittsburgh wide receivers.
Yeah, my take from all of this is, like, I do think DK is going... I think DK outperforms his ADP when it's all said and done this year. I think we are...
Sure.
Again, he didn't have any help next to him, so he was, basically useless for this offense, and they relied heavily on this defense. Like,
no love for Calvin
I think he has a
Austin?
bounce back. No. Roman Wilson, yeah, that's why they went and traded for Michael Pittman, extended him right away, and then drafted in the second round Jeremy Bernard. So
yeah. No, I don't hate that. Like you said, I think that DK Metcalf will beat his ADP if he plays majority of the games. It's just how does he do it, and that's what's scared me away from drafting him. I think he makes way more sense in best ball when you don't have to pick and choose. I've got him in a couple like dynasty contender teams, and he's like my wide receiver 4 or 5, and I'm like, I'd really love to be able to move on from you, man. I just don't want to have you in that point to choose when I need you to help me win. Anything else on this one?
I got nothing else on Mr. Jeremy Bernard.
Cool. Let's go to some more grossness. Let's talk about the Texans. I just look, I get it. We're Colts fans. I try not to be biased here, and I try not to be hating on them. But damn, if that offensive line isn't so, it's just booty, man. It's cheeks, and it's the run game's going to suck.
They did actually make it a little bit better. I mean, I will give them credit. Like, they took our guy Braden Smith, but he's been an anchor at right tackle. He's been great. He's played a long time in this league, though. I think he's still good. I don't know if he's amazing, but he's still good. They got the guy from the Browns. So they have like made attempts to fix it. I think they did a lackluster job, I would say. I think Texans fans would agree. I think they wish they would have just made it a heavily thing to fix it. But I don't know, like we didn't really talk about Nick Coley when he became the OC, and you and I did a little more digging research. Like his credentials are kind of good. Like he was a pass game coordinator for the Rams and also the tight ends coach, and we like the tight ends from there. We like Sean McVay as a pass game coordinator, and he was also under McDaniel for the Patriots. He won 2 Super Bowls with the Patriots, and he was the tight ends coach there, and he worked underneath them. So like, if there's ever like kind of like the tinfoil hat conspiracy for the Texans, it's this one right here.
I don't hate it. Like I think they have the pieces, the quarterback, the pass catchers to do something decent with this offense. I'm not in love with David Montgomery or the offensive line. I think it's better, of course. I think it's better than last year. I think you or I could have been put on that offensive line this year, and I still think it would have been said as better than what it was. It was so bad the last couple seasons. So I don't know. I'm hopeful for C.J. Stroud. Guys like Higgins, taking him late in best ball. There's that upside. Jalen Noel, of course, like Tank Dell. I still haven't gotten. We need more Tank Dell news. I think is honestly one of my biggest things with this team. I want to know.
I've taken him in the 18th round a couple times.
Do you know he's like 27? First contract still.
Interesting. He's an older guy. Okay.
He is a very old. I'm gonna vet that it's actually 26.6 is what he is. So he'll be 27 by the end of the season.
Dang.
And yes, first contract. This will be the last year of his first contract. So yeah, he was an old guy. Dynasty. I'd flip him as soon as I got the opportunity. For being honest. Would you keep him?
I did keep him, but that was because someone offered me a trade, and it was right before. It was around the time when he tore his all of his ligaments. I had a pretty good offer, but like I was like, I kind of like Tank Dell.
Well, say the value grows enough that somebody offers you a 27 second for him. Would you give it up, or would you keep him as a contender?
I would ship him out. Yep, I would ship him out.
Okay, cool. Nice. Let's head to another AFC South team. Have we gotten all of the AFC South teams? It seems like it.
Yeah, basically.
Let's talk about Brian Thomas Jr. here. Let's talk about this downfield role that he is supposed to be put in. I think there's so many different ways you can look at this. I think that there's good information here. I think there's bad information. How do you interpret this right off the bat?
It's interesting. I didn't know this. He averaged 14 air yards per target and led the Jags in air yards when he was healthy. So, like, now they're saying they're going to stretch him out more. It's a little interesting, obviously, because Parker Washington's on the team. So is Jacob Myers. Travis Hunter's going to play. I think the interesting thing, though, is that Trevor Lawrence ranked 19th out of 33rd, for accuracy, for downfield accuracy. So I don't think it's really that deep, I guess. I don't, because
and we also got a report recently where Trevor Lawrence came out talking about how stressful this new offense was for him going through the 2025 season. We saw him kind of come along the second half of the year, him and the team. So maybe that second year offense, we talk about this quite a bit on the show. Like we really like investing in that. So I think there's hopefulness that we can fix that accuracy issue. But like you brought it up, it's definitely there. It's something that has to be thought. I don't know, BTJ, the amount of behind the line of scrimmage passes that he got his rookie year, those were some of his best plays, just getting in the ball in space, not letting him work. That worries me. Does he not get less of that because they're just trying to focus on the downfield plays? And does he just turn into Alec Pierce his first 3 years?
Ooh, that's tough.
Just a cardio guy.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Mm-hmm. 15 overall. You don't turn your 15 overall into the sacrificial X. I'd hope not, anyway.
Gotta pay him soon.
Or they
in the class he's going. Well, I mean, take that back because it's Malik Neighbors and Marvin Harris. God, that class, what a turn of events.
Giants, I think they are hoping that they can extend Malik Neighbors right now before he goes out back up there in the field and demands the world.
I don't know if they can. Can they do it?
I don't think they can.
Yeah, so
I think it's this offseason would be the first time he'd be eligible.
Mm. Mm-mm-mm.
It's ridiculous. Do you have a favorite as we're going into July? Do you have a favorite? I guess rank the three wide receivers for me, or four wide receivers. Let's get nasty. Let's get Travis Hunter in there.
Travis Hunter's last. I want to put him higher because I do think he is talented. I just don't know what the offense is going to be. I don't know, man. Like I need to figure out. I have Myers at 2. I somehow just think he ends the year as like second in getting yards. I just don't know who's 1 and who's 3.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna say right now, probably Parker Washington 1. I'm gonna go with the coach hype, and then go Myers is 2. Yeah, so
Yeah, let me go BTJ, Myers, Parker Washington, Travis Hunter. Folks, I know
okay.
that doesn't help you at all. We got the 1 and 3 flipped, and those two might be the ones that are actually worth something. In Myers, maybe he's not. I don't know. Travis Hunter,
Yep.
we're still clicking the button.
Maybe Travis Hunter might be 1.
And I'm still pushing the button on Travis Hunter in best ball. Like, don't get it twisted, folks.
I've done it a couple times, not a lot, but I've done it a couple times.
Again, AFC South. Let's stay in it. Let's talk Colts. Let's talk JT. Do you remember? Yeah, it was just a couple years ago, folks. It wasn't that long ago that we were talking about Jonathan Taylor and his extension. He got it eventually. And this year, last year, the deal. Colts traditionally don't extend running backs at this age. This was the age that Edgerrin James was when we let him walk. I don't think we're that style of team anymore. I think we have to keep him just for if we suck for morale and just to keep for the fan base. I think we need JT.
I'd rather extend if you get Quentin Nelson's up for contract too as well. He's up for doing an extension. So I think he might explore free agency. I think he might because the franchise tag has actually increased. So it's drastically has gone up since he was a free or going to be a free agent. So I think he might test the waters. And I don't know, dynasty owners, like I will say, like him staying with the Colts is great. Like I would just say, like it's probably I don't know if he became a free agent, like what teams would kind of go back at it again. Like
I want to say it's 50-50. If he leaves the Colts, it's 50-50 whether or not his dynasty value goes up or down.
I mean, yeah, you could say that for anything.
Well, I just mean like for a lot of players, if they were to leave, like if Breece Hall, if he were to leave the Jets, I think it's 90-10, 90% chance his value goes up if he were to leave. In that sense, I think that there are a handful of teams that would pay for Jonathan Taylor and he wouldn't get what he gets here. And then I think there's a handful, he could go to a contender and just his touchdown volume could go up drastically being on a better team than the Colts.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sounded like a bad setup, but yeah, more just like I think there's so many variables with this. I want to see him stay with the team as a Colts fan, as just this franchise. I don't think Daniel Jones can be the guy they can lean on. They have to lean on a supreme run game.
I stand that he'd be better for fantasy with the Colts. I don't know if he were to leave, like what teams, like. I don't know. Maybe the Broncos make a run. They were trying to do so. So like that'd be. Yeah. I mean, they can improve it. There are a couple spots I think they could, but I feel like Colts is just safe because he is very much used as the bell cow.
Or maybe he stays in state and he plays for the other Indiana team next year.
Ooh. No, they have a ton of contracts. They have way too much money to be thinking
about. Come on,
future.
A big old contract to get the. Indiana Bears to play with Jonathan Taylor? Come on.
Yeah, no. Caleb's going to cost a pretty penny.
They give Jonathan Taylor 2-year fully guaranteed. Bam. Just like that. Actually, no. Caleb's going to be eligible after this next year, huh?
Next year, yeah. He's going to be due a bag.
Dude, there's some bags. You want to take
care of that. You want to find those teams. I want to take care of that very quickly.
Oh, man. That's some nasty stuff. That's all we've got on the docket here. What else you want to bring up with the people before we get out of here?
I've got nothing else. So hopefully nothing big happens.
Hopefully nothing big happens over this weekend, folks, because, yes, we are recording this a couple days before you're jumping in here on this Monday. But stay tuned. We got holiday weekend coming up, a couple more shows. We have drafts happening all over July. A lot of collab drafts. Mock drafts will start hitting you heavy early August. But divisional reviews. Starting this next week, we will be dropping divisional reviews 2 a week to get you through, ready for the preseason. I'm excited, man. I can't wait. We got JJ Zachariason coming on here in a couple weeks. That's going to be a good time. A couple other fun guests. Brendan, what else you got for us?
I got nothing else. You're going to max out your draft or underdogs. Gamble responsibly.
Absolutely.
Payday.
Save that money.
It's Friday.
That's right, folks. We'll see y'all next time. We appreciate y'all listening. Like, subscribe, as you always do.